So, ever the bargain hunter. I get a lot of my equipment from garage sales and Craigslist and, people who are giving it away. And that's how I got this, Mash and Boil. So I've been aching to try out a all-in-one electric system. And I was able to pick this up for a song and figured we'd give a review on it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So there's a couple different models of the Mash and Boil. This is the one without a pump. It's pretty straightforward. If you've seen any of the all-in-one electric systems, you have actually the lid. You've got a scoop basket, and they call it a malt pipe. It's perforated on the bottom, and what you do is you fill this thing up with your malt. First water, and then you mix your malt in. And then you've got the unit itself. So, I'll be honest with you, with this model, I had a lot of trouble getting my mash thoroughly at the same temperature. What I was doing is I was taking a large container and, moving wort from the bottom up to the top. I also ran into a lot of trouble with it draining fast enough. Just a normal drain was really slow. And Jesse was actually there. I tried putting a piece of screen that was cut out in the bottom, and I put that in there, and it was even slower. That was horrible.
That was crazy how slow that was.
Now, so this last time I brewed with it, what I did is I actually put a brew bag, like a brew in a bag type of bag, inside the malt pipe, and it drained like a dream. So drained really fast. I also picked up one of those MK2 pumps and hooked it up so I could recirculate it. And the first time I did it with the screen, I couldn't keep the pump full of liquid because it wouldn't drain fast enough. But with the brew bag in there, it was able to drain, constantly run at almost full bore. I think the other suggestion I saw online was people use a lot of rice hulls, and I didn't really want to buy rice hulls. I'd rather just use the bag in there. And there's a lot of people that instead of going with the bag and the malt pipe, they actually just put the bag inside the unit itself and leave the malt pipe out of the equation altogether.
Yeah, that would have been my go-to, was just use this as a boil kettle and just do a brew bag type of solution. But it's interesting that it's the bag's working in the malt pipe. I just find that really strange. That it sounds like it's working better with the bag than without the bag.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It just seems kind of strange. I wonder if it's just leaving it off that bottom just far enough so that it can drain. I mean, that just seems odd.
Well, from what I was reading, everyone says they think the issue is that when you pull the malt pipe out, you're compressing all that grain down. Yeah. And then the only thing you can really do is get in there and stir it off the bottom. And now you're letting all that fine particulate through. And then it just clogs right back up again.
Well, those holes are... they're pretty small.
Yeah,
I thought they were bigger
small.
than that. Yeah, they're not very big at all. I don't know if hopefully your friends can see that.
Yeah.
So, I thought they were a little bit bigger than that. So, okay. That makes a little bit of sense then.
Yeah. So, we're kicking around the idea of trying to do an interview with our friend Steven, who has a Brewzilla, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think of Brewzilla. See, because I know he loves his system, and it has the pump. I didn't take a good close look at the malt pipe on it, but I would assume it's similar.
I would assume.
Now, just saying. So this is the old model of the Mash and Boil. They have a V2 model now, and it's supposed to have much better flow and all this other stuff. But of course, without putting my hands on it, I couldn't review it and tell you if it's any better or not. Wink, wink. But so some other nice things about this. So that was kind of the negatives, but I don't want to ruin it right away. But this is the 120 volt model, and it has two switches. It's got an on-off switch, and then it has a switch which turns on the 1600 watt element versus the 1000 watt. It doesn't have any Bluetooth or anything like that, Wi-Fi access on it, but the timer itself, you can set it up for what temp you want, how long you want it at that temp, and then how long of a delay you want to put on it. So for me, it works out really nice because, like, if I'm going to brew after work, I'll set it up, say, hey, in 6 hours, turn on, and then, it'll be hot by the time I get off work or whatever. And I'll be honest, a lot of times for me is I'll get up in the morning and it'll be set up and I'll tell it what temp to go to and just turn it on and go have a cup of coffee, make a little breakfast, and by the time I'm done, it's ready to go.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's been a huge time saver. One of the other bonuses I like about it is that so I like and dislike this about it. The boil is kind of pathetic, and I'm hoping I'll drop in some video here that I took of it actually boiling. It's not a very vigorous boil. The bonus to that is that you can walk away from it and not worry about it boiling over. At least in my experience, try it on your own before you do it. So I've had a couple of brew days where I'm actually doing other stuff as well. And I'll be like, I can run to the store. I'll just get it, I'll just start my adding hops later on, after I get back and end up letting it boil for a little bit longer. So, it's been nice. It's just easy to fit brewing into a day that I'm doing other stuff as well.
So, a couple of questions then. So, if you want to do a step mash, then you just set the temperature and it just raises up slowly to the next temperature, I assume, right?
I don't think it has, I think it only has one temperature setting. So if you want to do a step mash, you set it to the first temp you want, and then you go in there and set it again to the next temp, and it'll start bringing it there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I didn't think it was programmable.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It wasn't that,
yeah, because some of the fancier ones they do. They have a whole program you can do
from your phone and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so, okay. No, that's cool. And then the boil... I'm kind of curious to see, since one of the theories with Pilsner malt is that you have to have a really vigorous boil to boil off the precursors of DMS, and I'm wondering if...
Yeah, and that's a theory I subscribe to.
Yeah.
So, because I do 90-minute boils with all of my Pilsner malt brews.
But, I don't know. Stuff I've been reading is that might not be that big a deal with better modified malts, but, it is what it is. So I was just wondering if I don't know if you've done any Pilsner heavy, apart from this one, with this.
Yeah, I did the light beer in there, but we haven't tasted that yet.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that pops in on top of my head.
Okay.
Well, I might have done the Saison in this too. I'd have to look.
I guess we'll see.
So, but yeah, I give it at least a 90-minute boil. With this one here, and actually, this is the Bier de Garde. It actually had a 2 or 3 hour boil, so that was plenty of time. Yeah. Now, some other things that I've noticed is that when you take this malt pipe out, it's up there. It's got these little. Here, let me flip it over. It's got these angled brackets in here. And that's what the legs of the malt pipe sit on. So if you've got this on a table or anything, and you take the malt pipe up and out and set it up here, I mean that's pretty high up. So you're gonna have to have a heck of a reach to get water in the top if you want to do your sparge. I've gone to either recirculating entirely, or my pump just has a hose because I don't want to lift anything up that high, and I set this really low. Now, one other thing, so if you're not an all-in-one brewer, and I kind of mix it up. Sometimes I'll do brew in a bag, sometimes I won't. One handy thing that I've been enjoying about this is I'll fill this with water and heat it up to the temperatures I need for my plastic, mash tun, and just let it drain into there. And by the time my mash is done, it's heated up the sparge water. So even as a hot liquor tank by itself, I think it was worth what I paid for it, which wasn't much. I think it was like maybe $100 overall. I got in this huge swath of home brewing supplies.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I was, I don't know, I've been thinking about these since you got yours. You've been kind of raving about it. I've been kind of checking prices on different ones, and I think I was listening to a podcast today, Experimental Brewing. Then they had a commercial in there for Grainfather. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's like, the G40. I wonder how much those are. Oh,
yeah.
My God. Nope.
Yeah.
Good luck buying one of those. So
I'm a cheapskate, so
yeah.
I mean I know a lot of guys have like anvil systems, and
yeah.
And if I were to buy one, it'd probably be a Digiboil, just because they're a little bit cheaper than the Bruzillas, And they don't come with a pump, I don't think. When they do have a pump, they have an external pump, which is something I'd look for. So if the pump fails, I don't have to work. It's outside. I can, you could use it for other stuff. Yeah.
So no, that's so. But I mean, something like this though. I think as I was doing that research, I was looking on More Beer, and they had something very similar to this, and it was more reasonable. So
yeah, because I think the Brewzillas are 400-ish, 450. Somewhere around there, and then I think the Digiboils are about $70 cheaper.
Okay,
maybe. Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but go if you take a look at More Beer. I mean, we're not advertising for them or anything, but that they have all of the systems.
Got the stuff.
Yeah. If I was wired for it, I'd do 220 volt.
Yeah.
Because that would cut down on the time to heat and boil and everything else.
You probably get a lot more vigorous boil with that too, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Which reminds me, what's the difference between why is there a switch between 1600 watts and 1000 watts?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's on 1000 watts, then I made a mistake.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, you would think that, that's 600 more. That's better. But
well, that's why I leave it on all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't see a point in running it on low. It's not like it's going to run away.
Yeah.
So, and I will say one other thing. When I got it, I was concerned. I got it hooked up in my garage. The garage is a GFCI circuit. Or GFCI. And I also had my kegerator on it. And I was like, whoa, what happens if I'm running it and it's heating and the kegerator kicks on? Because it's a big side-by-side fridge.
Yeah.
And, I didn't have any issues. It never blew the circuit, not one time.
That's good.
So, yeah. So it doesn't use too terribly much power. And I think I ran the numbers, and to do if it was running at full power output for the entire hour-long mash, an hour-long boil, I think it would cost something like 15 cents in electric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not
so bad. It really wasn't much.
That's cheaper than propane.
Exactly, yeah.
So probably, I would think so.
Yeah.
Because it probably takes a quarter of a...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it costs like $20 to fill a propane tank.
Yeah, so that'd be $5 in propane-ish. Yeah. Just guessing. So
another nice thing about Mash and Boil, I'm sure it's true of the others, is that they have there's a Facebook group out there with a lot of great people in it, and they answer all sorts of questions. So so if you see one of these at garage sale or on Craigslist, I would say take the plunge.
Yeah, snap it up if you get it for a good price.
So
cool.
Oh, maybe we should have Brian on it on the show, because Brian just got one with the pump from a garage sale.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Huh. So, well, Till next time.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching our video. Check out our website at coloradobrewtalk.com for more great content.
While you're there, be sure to leave us a comment or drop us a line with your thoughts.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at CO Brew Talk, or follow the links below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content.
Or episodes, as the case may be.